Hello my legends, Tio here with a Battlefield video, you could say. I wanted to talk about Battlefield 4. As you may know, Battlefield 4 has been announced to be in production. Firstly, they said you get access to the beta, whenever that'll be, if you pre-ordered Medal of Honor Warfighter a few months ago. They've also tweeted about the game a couple of times. Something I want to say before we get into this is that when this news first came out, a lot of people were upset, thinking that they were going to start come out with new Battlefield games like once a year, or that they'd start doing quantity over quality and go more for the Call of Duty model where they come out with one every year. And a lot of people are upset over this, but the thing is that they've been coming out with a new Battlefield game every 2.5 years for a long time now. So there's nothing really different about it. I just wanted to point that out for those who still think that it would be early for a new Battlefield game. The first thing I want to bring up that I feel is missing in Battlefield 3 is something that they used to have back in Battlefield 2 and Battlefield 2142, which is Commander mode. I don't really know what to call it. Commander class? No, but for those of you who don't know what it is, it was that in the beginning of the game, you'd say if you want to be the commander. And usually I think it was always that the highest rank that requested to become commander got the role. And the commander could then drop supply drops, give commands to squads, such as go to this flag or defend this flag. He could also set UAVs and spot people on the map, among other things. This added so much more organized play into games, in my opinion. I think this is something that was missing in Battlefield 3, because, for example, in the Bad Company games, there were, on PC, you were 32 players max, and on console, you're 24, and it's smaller maps, it's more made for rush, but there's Conquest as well. And there, Commander wasn't needed, because it's smaller maps. You don't need as much organization. But in Battlefield 3, they brought back the bigger maps. They brought back, Conquest became a bigger part of the game, and I felt that it's very unorganized if we're talking about winning a game. I think that the team, you're not really synced up, not as much as you were back in Battlefield 2 or 2142. I don't remember if they had them in the even older games, if they had a commander there, but I feel that I would love to see a return of the commander. But I'd love to see the commander mode coming back in the next Battlefield if they go with the big maps. If they do a Bad Company 3, then I don't think it's necessary. But if it would be as big of as the maps are in Battlefield 3, I think it's needed. Maybe not for Rush. I'm not sure if it's as needed in Rush, but definitely in Conquest mode. I really think it would help to bring it back. I thought it was a nice addition to the game. Personally, I didn't think it was very fun, but there was always someone who would be a commander, and he'd really help out the team, and it added some more teamwork into the game. You were a lot more synced up with your team. I sometimes miss the old squad system. In Battlefield 2, you could have up to 6 players in one squad. Now for those of you who didn't play it, this probably sounds like it could be very chaotic. But the catch was that you could only spawn on the squad leader. Personally, I think this leads to more, once again, teamwork and a little more organized play, knowing that the leader has to be kept alive. You kind of work together to keep him alive, I guess. Unless you don't give a crap, then you let him die. But if you're trying to win, if you're really going for the objective, you want him to stay alive, and I think it's a fun addition to the game. Now, the option only squad leader spawn is available in the filters for Battlefield 3, but I can never find any servers that have it enabled. Now, I'm not saying that Battlefield 4 should have 6-man squads, because, as I said, I do miss it, but it worked in the older games because the maps were designed for Conquest. It was Conquest that was played. There was no Rush mode. Now that there's Rush mode, it's much smaller maps. It is one big map, but everyone's going, it's small parts of the maps all the time, so 6-man squads, I think that could become chaotic maybe. But I think it works a lot better in Conquest, so that's why I think, why not give us the option? As I said, in Battlefield 3 they have the option to do only squad leader spawn, but no servers have it on. If there were more options, if there was in Rush it's 4-man squads, but in Conquest you can choose to have 6-man squads. Personally, I think with that option, I think Conquest would be a lot more fun with 6-man squads. So if they could make it work, I'd love to see a return of 6-man squads where you could only spawn on the leader. It made for cooler attacks where you're a 6-man squad attacking a flag. And with Commander especially, because if the Commander then tells this squad to go to a flag, you actually have your 6 people. 4 people could be taken out pretty quickly, but 6, that's another deal. So if they could make it work, I'd love to see a return of that. One more quick thing I want to say is that I get so frustrated very often at unbalanced teams in Battlefield 3, but I mean, that's something that you have in every game, so me saying, you know, somehow solve so it's more even teams, it doesn't help much, but some sort of better balance, auto balance, would be nice, because it's so often that the teams are really unbalanced. And when you have a server list and you get to choose what to join, it's a little hard to have the teams always be even. But if they could somehow make it work a little better, that would be awesome, because it's very often the only times I like rage quit, or I don't usually rage quit, but when I feel, yeah, okay, let's say rage quit. When I stop feeling like playing, like I play a match and then I'm like, ugh, I'm out of here. That's because of uneven teams. I don't usually rage at anything else. Like, it's just uneven teams that makes me mad. So I mean, but I'm not gonna talk about that more than I just did. That pretty much wraps up what I've thought of that I'd like to see changed or added or whatever into Battlefield 4. Now, I've been talking about Battlefield 4. I mean, personally, I would love to see another Bad Company, because there's something about the Bad Company games that I've always... I don't know if it's the maps or... It's something about them, the way it feels when you play them. I think I prefer it. Bad Company 2 was a lot of fun. I prefer it over the feeling when I play Battlefield 3. But I still really like Battlefield 3. I just think it's time for another Battlefield game. I mean, Bad Company, to be specific. But now Battlefield 4 has been announced. There was a rumor about Bad Company 3 being in production. I read an article about it that Stefan sent me. I'll put it in the description if you're interested in reading that. So I'm hoping another Bad Company game coming in the next couple of years. But yeah, I'd love to see another Bad Company game. But yeah, that's about it. As I said in the beginning, if you have any thoughts about what you'd like to see changed or added in the next Battlefield, I'd love to see it, because, I mean, this is what I thought of. I bet there's a lot more things that others think would fix something, or just something that they've thought of. And of course, this cannot go unmentioned. How awesome would it be with dinosaurs? Imagine just like 4 or maybe 6 people on a map like Wake Island, and just survival against dinosaurs. I know survival, it's kind of played out, but I don't care. It's awesome. Just imagine a group of friends against a bunch of dinosaurs, survival with like waves of dinosaurs, different kinds of stuff. It would be really weird, but still really awesome. Anyway, yeah, comment if you have any thoughts about anything I said, if something wouldn't work. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video, or I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.